First
This
of all,
conference will now be
let's start
recorded.
with an introduction of ServiceNow. My name is Niharika. Um, so I've been working with ServiceNow from past 5 years. I'm working on ServiceNow as a tool. And if we talk about ServiceNow, then it is basically when it got introduced, it was basically an ITSM tool, or most commonly known as a ticketing tool. When we talk about ITSM, so is anybody aware of what an ITSM is? Okay, ITSM stands for IT Service Management. It is a strategic approach for designing, delivering, managing, improving the way any IT information technology is used within an organization. So basically, it revolves around the term IT, information technology. In order to deliver that for an organization, what should be the strategy? What should be the design? How should the delivery should be done? This all is defined through a set of ideologies which are in ITSM. Um, ServiceNow is based on same ITSM methodology. So initially it was introduced as a ticketing tool, ITSM. So if you will, so this is how ServiceNow looks like. I mean, when you will log in, this is how it looks like. This is a ServiceNow instance. Open it front of me. So this is a developer ServiceNow instance, as in you all can log into developer.servicenow.com, and then you can request an instance for you. That way, this is something which, when you will be taking the training or when you will be taking up the course, this is something which we will be doing first. That will be the first step, that all of us will be having one developer instance of our own, where whatever topic we are studying, we'll be going through. Parallelly, you can go through the same topic in your practice that in your developer instance. So when we talk about, in terms of ServiceNow, as in there is something called releases. So those who already are familiar with ServiceNow, they would know what a release is, and those who not. Release is something. Every year there will be like 2 releases of ServiceNow, which are based on city names. So current release is Paris, and a new release means new features they have added to the tool, because they have to. How this is Moreover, it is a market strategy, like how to keep the tool in demand, which means enhancing the features every time. So that enhancements or major features which are coming for any for that year, that comes as a release for ServiceNow. So right now the current release is Paris. Um, so when you will log into register for at developers.servicenow.com, and when you will be, there will be a button for request an instance. Once you click on it, it will ask you which release you want. So there will be a lot of options, like before Paris, Orlando was there for O. So you can go to you can pick up any of those releases which are there, but my preference would be that you pick up the latest release, so that you understand what are the latest features which have been provided by ServiceNow in their for their instances. So that's one part. Another part is, as I said, where we were talking about ITSM. So if we will be cover we our examples, whatever will go through the course material, will be revolving around ITSM modules only. So when we talk about ITSM, there are three basic terminologies which we talk about. That is incident, problem, change. So incident is, as in, for example, if you're working for your XYZ organization you are working for, and you face an issue. So you will go to your support, right? And let's suppose if your organization is using ServiceNow as the support tool or as the ITSM tool, so you will be raising an issue over there. That will be counted as a more unofficial way. It is called as a ticket. You raise a ticket, but in terms of ServiceNow, it is known as an incident. Any issue you raise is known as an incident in ServiceNow. Um, when that issue is reoccurring, then it becomes a problem. For example, if you are facing a trouble, so in your particular on your particular floor there is a printer, and that printer is not working for you, so you raised an issue. Then on the same floor, 3 4 people, 5 6 people, all they also tried, and for them also the printer is not working, so they also raised issue. So for the same issue there were similar tickets raised, so that will count as a problem. If that issue is reoccurring, that comes under the category of problem. So as per, I mean, ITSM methodology, what happens is an incident, an issue, when it comes into a queue. When I say queue, that means whenever it is assigned to a group, people who are member of that group, they will work on that ticket, and then they will ensure that resolution has been provided to the end user. When a problem comes into, when an incident, let's suppose it is identified, a set of I mean a bunch of incidents are identified as a problem, then there are ways to tackle problems as well, like root cause of that problem is known, and then what probably, I mean, if that is something which can be mitigated, then okay, a solution is provided to mitigate that, and if not, then an article can be made which can be a known problem. So I mean, when you'll start working on service now, how, I mean, you'll work on a lot of modules, and then sometimes it may happen that you face an issue, you search over ServiceNow community, and you will find that ServiceNow will provide you all, or you a document on that, a problem document on that, because that has been registered as a known problem. Similarly, in your own instance also, for your end users also, if there is something which is a known problem, you can create a knowledge article for that. So we'll come to that, what a knowledge article is. The third aspect which I say which I said is change management. So change management comes into play when we are talking about, so for example, like we took the example of printer, so we'll stick to that only. So when we were talking about printer, okay, a lot of it got identified as a problem. Now the POC came, the respective POC came, checked the printer, and then it was determined that the printer needs to be replaced. So now something needs to be replaced, something needs to be changed, or let's suppose a configuration needs to be changed. So in that case, wherever any change is involved, we need a official way to do that, because that is not something which can be, I mean, that's not how it works for an organization. For anything to be changed, you need a change request in place. Once that change request is approved, once all the approvals are finished, then only you will get that new printer sanctioned, or new, or whatever new accessory which needs to be sanctioned for it to work, that will get on its way. So this incident change problem was are three major modules for ITSM. Other than that, there is something called knowledge management. So knowledge management is nothing, it's just a set of articles, as in knowledge articles. So if you will type knowledge over here, sorry. So when you will type knowledge over here, you'll see knowledge, my knowledge articles. So when you open this, I mean, you click on it, and you will see a list of articles. Here you will see all the categories. So if I will click on this IT category, it will show me, okay, these are the articles. So these are the articles which have been created by, let's suppose, a knowledge manager, or the person who has the respective role. They'll create an article. So for example, what are the Microsoft Outlook issues which are faced by any end user? I mean, so based on the categories, I mean, under this category, I mean, under IT, they have these. If you will click on this one, so these are the subcategories over here. So whenever you click on related to Android, if there is any document announcements, FAQ, Java, like that. So an article is nothing, just a piece of information for all the people who are part of that organization, just a piece of information like that. Another important aspect in ServiceNow is something called service catalog. Service catalog is, for example, you joined your organization, you are new to it, and there will be a lot of things which will be required by you. Let's say you need a new desktop, you need a new desk, you need your seat assigned, you need a desktop, or you need, let's say, your if not desktop, if you need laptop, you need internet connectivity, let's suppose you need a dongle or whatever is working, I mean whatever is being followed by the organization. Let's suppose you need a set of 5 6 things which you need to get as soon as you join the organization. That's one example. Another example is, suppose you're working in your organization and you need a certain set of software for some client work or anything like that. So how do you order that? So there is something called catalog items in ServiceNow, where let's suppose you need an Adobe software, you can just go to those catalog items, you can search for Adobe, and then you can just order it. So whatever flow the organization has decided for it to be ordered, that it will follow once it is ordered. For example, if the organization has decided that for the Adobe to be ordered, I mean once you place a order, it will first go to your manager's approval. Once your manager approves, then it will go to XYZ group's approval, and once that is approved, then someone from the a task will be assigned for the IT team, and someone from the IT team will come to your desk and they will install the software on your desktop. So this flow is decided by something called workflows in ServiceNow. You can create workflows for catalog items. That way, whenever you will order any catalog item, you will be able to determine what flow it should follow. So, okay, now first of all, these were the basic, I mean, concepts which are the ITSM concepts are plus service catalog, an important part of ServiceNow. So this is we will be covering. I mean, our examples, whatever topics we'll be covering for ServiceNow, our examples will be revolving around this only, like incident. I mean, most of the examples which we'll be giving from will be from incident, so that you will have an understanding of incident as a module as well. Then service catalog also is something which will be complete. I mean, we'll be going through. We'll also go through workflows. Um, Other than that, I mean, the major foremost part is that you understand the ServiceNow UI. So for people who are not, I mean, that good with coding or not that comfortable with coding, there are a lot of activities which can be done in ServiceNow without coding, which comes under the ServiceNow admin part. Then there is something called ServiceNow development, which needs some part of coding as well. So when I say admin activities, which means I mean for any tool what an admin will do, same thing. Admin has the major rights related to that instance, and they can do a lot of things over there without coding. So understanding the ServiceNow UI, that like this is a logo, this is a title, then what this pickup is for, then what this picker is for, then this is the logged in username coming, then these settings are over here, what are these various settings doing, then this is called application navigation. These are, what are these called? So I mean, for example, this one this one is called a module. This one, if you will click on, this one is called an application. I mean, application is the parent, under that there are various modules. So to be I mean, these are the basic questions which an admin should know. And I mean, this is all about UI only. I mean, these are the basic questions which come in for anybody who is interested in admin certification as well. So other than that, I mean, one more major part of ServiceNow, I mean, which we will be covering and the training will be. So for example, I am typing incident over there. So this application is incident, and under that you will see a lot of modules for incident, like create new incident, incidents which are assigned to me, open incidents, unassigned incidents, resolve, like that various modules are created. So if I will create, I'll click on, let's suppose, any of this. I don't think there is any incident. So there is no incident assigned to me. So I'll click on the open incidents. So these are the open incidents. Okay. Now this is called a table. So understanding what a table is, what are the various aspects of table, how a table is created in ServiceNow, because if you will observe, ServiceNow is nothing but a collection of tables. So it is a cloud-based tool where everything is being stored on cloud. So you don't have to, I mean, that's the advantage of the tool. But when we talk about like the structure which you will follow over here, most of the, I mean, whenever you will click on anything, it will just open up a table for you. or if not table, then if you're clicking, it will open a form for you. So this is called a table. This is called a list view of the table. So what are tables, how to create new tables in ServiceNow. Then this is called a list view, how to manage a list view, how as an admin you can configure the list view, how you can change it, how you can manipulate it, what are the various options which are available for you in list view. Then if you click on any of the record, then it will open one record. If you click on it, then it will open a form. So this what will open up now. This is called a form for incident. So this is an incident form. Now how as an admin you can manipulate a form, what are the various changes you can do with a form, like form designing you can do, or edit the current whatever design is present here, or how can you edit it, how can you change the places. If you will go down, I mean, just a minute. So what are the various functions which you can perform on a form? What are these? So this is something which we will cover under form. So we'll cover something called tables. We will cover something called list. We'll cover something called this number one will be that ServiceNow UI, like what is the ServiceNow UI? Like when you log in into ServiceNow, what is the first thing you should be aware of? Then as we'll proceed, we'll talk about tables and how we can what are the various things to do with tables in ServiceNow? What are the various things to do with forms in ServiceNow? Then these are called these buttons which you are seeing, these are called UI actions. What are they? What do they do? How can you configure a UI action of your own? Then as we already talked this about service catalog, I mean, like I said, a lot of catalog items are there. So there's nothing, I mean, sorry. So service catalog as in this is for the end user. So when an end user clicks on service catalog, he will see a lot of categories over here. And if he'll click on any of the categories, he will see, okay, what are the options I have, what I can choose. So let's suppose they want to change, or this is the new hire one. If they will open it, then after filling the form, they will submit it and a request is generated. That request will have a requested item and then it will follow the workflow. Workflow as in what flow it should go for, what task should be generated, or what approval it should go for, like that. So this is something which we are going to cover in detail, like what is service catalog, what does it covers? It covers catalog items. There is something called order guide also within service catalog also. The service catalog, I mean, catalog items are single items like laptop you want or software you want, whereas an order guide is just a collection of catalog items. Like for example, like this new hire one, that's a very good example. Like when you join new to an organization, there is only not just one item which you need a lot of items, I mean. So rather than create, I mean, ordering all of them, all of the items individually and creating separate requests for them, what you can do is that you can create an order guide for that, and the person will order those items from the order guide, and that all of that will be handled under one request only. That is something called order guide. So this is all a part of something called service catalog. So the items which you are seeing over here, they are coming from something, I mean, this is the view which an end user will see, but as an admin or as a ServiceNow developer, so this is, just a minute, I'll charge it. Okay, cool. So that was the end user view, but this is the developer, or I'll say admin view, where you can create your new own catalog items, or you can make changes to the catalog items which are already existing. And then if you will look at, just a minute. See, this is the workflow. So we will be covering workflows also in our session, that how do we create a workflow and then how do we associate a workflow to a catalog item. So there's a whole drawing board for workflows in ServiceNow. So workflows are nothing like just flow diagrams, if anybody can relate to. So you go to workflow editor. So like these are some existing workflows. So this is nothing, just a flow. So like this, like the workflow will, as soon as it will be triggered for whatever table it has been created for, then it will begin. Then these are various workflows activities. So for most of these activities, like for approvals, for this generate task, coding is not required. But then, as I said, there is a certain aspect of service now. I mean, there is a lot of chunk for which you don't need coding, but then when you go more into development, there is a certain part where you will need coding. And in service now, the requirement for that coding is that you should have a knowledge of JavaScript. That will help you. A knowledge of any coding language is beneficial. I mean, you will be able, that way you will be able to grasp it easily. But I mean, even if you know any other coding language also, you can just go over any website like W3 Schools and just quickly have um, an introduction, give yourself an introduction to JavaScript syntax, as in how a variable is created, how an array is created, how you push elements to an array, things. I mean, how do you do for loop in an array? How do you do for each loop in this for loop in JavaScript? For each, how do you do while in JavaScript? If else syntax. So like things like this, if you will know. So there, I mean, like you see this run script. So if you will, so ServiceNow has its coding with JavaScript syntax. The syntax which is followed is JavaScript, plus it makes use of some ServiceNow APIs. So if we talk about scripting in ServiceNow, it will be like there are two parts of it. One is client-side scripting and one is server-side scripting. So as I told you, I mean, we like we talked about form. Okay, like any form is open, like incident form was open. So when are you on form on browser, what should happen? I mean, what a client and server side scripting, normally that generic definition goes here also in ServiceNow also. What right now should happen in the browser, what should happen on the form comes under client side scripting. And then server side scripting is based on database transactions. As you know, ServiceNow has a lot of tables. So the database transactions on that table, like updating the table record, I mean, like you're submitting the form, let's suppose when you're save or submit the form, then those changes should be saved to that table for in that record. So this is all server side action. So scripting has been defined in two parts over here, client side scripting and server side scripting. There are various methods which have been provided by ServiceNow. For client side scripting, they have something called client scripts, or like UI policies or UI actions. And then for server-side scripting, they have these business rules, or transform app scripts, or script includes. So these are all server-side scripting. So schedule jobs. So we'll be covering client-side scripting, as in we'll be covering UI policies, client scripts, um, UI actions, and then server-side scripting will be covering script includes, will be covering these business rules, and we'll be covering schedule jobs. So these are what each of them does. That is something which we'll go through, and at the end we'll do like an exercise where you will get a scenario based question, and then you will be able to pick up yourself from that what coding tactics should be used. I mean, whether I should use server side coding or whether I should use client side, or out of that also which method should I use. For that is the basic goal for you to understand that. After letting you learn that, we will be giving you brief about all of the various scripting techniques which are present in ServiceNow, and then after end of it you should be able to pick up for any requirement you receive. You should be able to pick up, okay, I have got this requirement, okay, I know for this I have to go for server side scripting, I have to create a business rule for that. So that's the goal for it. um, Other than that, okay, when we'll be doing workflows also, there is a certain set, there's as I said, for complex requirements, we can go, I mean, we can include advanced for advanced requirements, we can include part of coding in workflows also. That also comes under server-side scripting. So that is something we'll cover when we'll be doing workflows. Other than that, there is something called reporting in ServiceNow. Reports are nothing, I mean, from like we open incident table, so that data is, I mean, let's suppose you want monthly data, or you want to create a report for your team to see what are the closed incidents, what any incidents which have been closed this month, or what are the incidents which you have received this month for your group. So things like that. For that, you can create a report. Those reports can be Excel reports, or they can be bar graphs, or they can be any, I mean, any type of report which you want to create. So these creation of reports, how do we create a report in ServiceNow? How do we share it? So that is also something which we'll cover. And I guess other than that, there's something called security, ACL in ServiceNow. So ACL is nothing but what type of security you are providing for a table. So for example, for a table, what role should have the read access, what role should have the write access, what role should have the create access, update access. So all of these crude database operations, which role should have what, I mean, because you have to provide that, because I mean, as an admin, you should be able to change anything, you can manipulate anything, but an end user should not be able to do that. So there should be some restrictions. So that layer of security is something which is provided by something called ACL. Then last but not the least, there's something called update sets in ServiceNow, which we'll be covering. Update sets is nothing but where whatever changes you are doing, whether you are creating a client script or whether you are creating a new catalog item, those changes, I mean, you will be creating in, when you will be working for your client, you'll be working in various environments, as in you'll be having a development environment, or you will be having a QA environment, then you will be having a production environment. So whenever you will do your development, you will do in development instance, but then that is something called customization. Any customization which you will be do. So what you will do, you will create an update set for that. Update sets are used to capture customizations. So how you create an update set, then once you create it, I mean, this is update set picker only. So view current update. So currently my update set is this. Whatever customization I'll make, it will get captured in here. Then if I want those same customizations to be moved to test or QA instance, then I need to move that update set, complete that update set and move it from development to QA. So that is something, this creation of new update set, capture of customizations in update sets, and then moving of update sets from one instance to another. That is something which we'll cover in update sets. So these are in whole all of the topics which we will be covering in this training. So I mean, that's all from my end. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. No questions for me, Nilima?
Yes, Niharika. I think Srinivas have a question. He raised the hand firstly.
Okay, Srinivas, you can ask your question.
Okay, Niharika, we can end the session for now.
Okay.
Hi, Harika. Shravan here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just I want to know. I'm looking for a tool which helps me personal. Some converting some files, or I want to develop a tool. So I don't have any IT knowledge. So is there any chance can I get a help from you from the service now?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
See, basically, I'm not an IT guy, so I'm trying to, I have an idea to develop a tool, but I don't know how to develop it. So, is there any chance, can I get any help from the service now?
What's your goal? I mean, why do you want to learn ServiceNow?
See, present, working in an MNC company, and just like there is an Excel sheet, and which should be converted automatically into PDF. So
Okay.
I'm thinking to develop a tool in this, and just I need to develop some macros around in the Excel. So how can I get the help from you?
So I didn't understand. You want to convert. You want to develop a tool to convert your Excel into PDF. So
Correct.
how ServiceNow is going to help you in that? That is my question. Because see, ServiceNow is an ITSM.
Yeah. Okay. Hello.
From how long have I been talking on mute?
It's been almost, I think it's 30-40 seconds, I guess. More than that, maybe.
Okay, if you want, you are saying, I believe what you're saying that you want to create a tool of your own,
Correct.
right? Am I right?
Yes, that's what.
Yeah, okay. So ServiceNow is a whole lot platform. I mean, it is not just about the thing which you're looking for. That's what I mean to say.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks a lot for
Hey,
answering that.
sorry.
Yeah, thanks for your answer. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else have any questions? See, like you,
Yeah,
now this,
hi
like
Nilima,
you have,
this is Srinivas.
yeah, just a minute. I'll come back to you. Just 1 minute, okay? Like now, what you have said is, like you have to convert. So see, there is something concept of something called load data into ServiceNow where you can load Excel sheets. But then whatever data you are loading, you will need a table for that already in ServiceNow so that you can copy your element of the Excel in that table. So number one, and then let's suppose you have copied your elements in the table, then you can go to the table and then you can export, and then you can export in whatever format you want it to be exported. So these are all the formats you have. But then if you have just, to be very honest, I mean, if you have just only this goal, I mean, you want to convert from Excel to PDF, then ServiceNow it will be a very costly tool for that. I mean, if the motive is just to convert Excel from Excel to PDF. Next, I mean, sorry, who was asking the question? Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, Nilima. This is Srinivas. My question is, do we need to learn anything apart from ServiceNow? Do we need to know any basic knowledge tools like Linux or Java? Or do we need to learn all this?
You need to have a basic knowledge of JavaScript. When I say basic knowledge, as in I don't expect much, but I mean, at least you should be able to understand coding logic, as in when you will use an if, when you will use an if else, when you will use an for, when you will use a while. So that is something which will help you as a developer. But when you talk about, you should be have a, I mean, you should know about the syntax of JavaScript. So you can go to w3schools.com. There are tutorial for JavaScript. You can just go through initial 14, 15 modules also. That's also fine, where they'll tell you what are the various operators available, how do you create a variable, how do you create an array, how do you comment something in JavaScript. So basic things like that.
Okay. For admin part?
For admin part, I mean, I believe you should have a basic understanding of ITSM concepts, as in what an incident is, process-wise as well. Like one liner, two liner only, if you can go through what are the various ITSM, only just for your knowledge, one line, two line, like what an incident is, what a problem is, what a change is, what a task is. That will help you to understand, I mean, service. Because if you will look, okay, yes, there are various tables, but I mean, that will evolve you as a ServiceNow personnel, that, okay, you are not someone who is just knowing the tool, but someone who understands the process also and will be able to relate the process with the tool.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Okay.
Okay, if no questions, yeah, sorry, any questions?
Yeah. For ServiceNow admin, what would be the day-to-day activities for the candidate who is joined for fresher level?
So day-to-day activity, there is one topic, I guess, which I missed. Day-to-day activities can be, for example, just a minute. There's something called users. There's something called groups. There's something called roles in ServiceNow. This is also user administration, which I forgot to mention. This also includes in the course. So users, as in who for your organization, who are the various users, and then groups, like you will be a part of a group. Similarly, other person will be part of a group. And then there is roles like admin is one of the role. Then there is something called ITIL, who has less access than admin, but then he is able to see a lot of modules. Then there are specific roles also, like for approvers there are specific roles, for I mean, for module wise also there are specific roles, for incident module there are specific roles. So we assign those roles. So assignment of roles, creation of groups, then these, I mean, for example, if you want to change the theme, you want to change the logo, or from settings, I mean, you want to change the user preferences for a user. There's something called impersonate user, where you can, as an admin, you can impersonate any other user and see what their account looks like. So if they are facing any trouble with their ServiceNow interface, you can impersonate that user and see and check what issue they are exactly facing. So or I mean, creation of reports, reporting and all. So this is all which will come under admin. When we talk about developer, I mean ServiceNow development, then will come the scripting part. Other than that, the remaining chunk will be in the admin.
Okay. Okay. So there will be a team for ServiceNow, right? In any organization, right?
Yeah, for any organization, you will have, I mean, depends on the organization. So you will have hierarchies like ServiceNow admin. When you once you, I mean, you start working as a ServiceNow admin, that's the reason because you get comfortable within the skin of ServiceNow tool, and then you can proceed your way towards development as much as you get comfortable. That depends on your interest also. Like if development is in your interest, you want to proceed as a ServiceNow developer. Certifications also go like that in ServiceNow. There's ServiceNow admin certification, then there is ServiceNow implementation certification for various models like ITSM implementation certification, where they give you more insight into the process. And then there is ServiceNow developer certification, which is based totally about scripting and development. So certifications also go this way. So that's all on your interest.
Okay, scripting on Java or any other programming language?
Scripting in JavaScript plus ServiceNow APIs.
Okay.
That's how we script in ServiceNow. We make use of JavaScript plus ServiceNow API. So when we will be covering scripting, we'll be going through the ServiceNow APIs, which are used in day-to-day ServiceNow skill set.
Okay. Okay, okay, Niharika. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay then. Thank you so much.
Thank you.